Because sailing to St. Martin would take multiple days, we decided to put up the enclosure. That way we could all sleep on the flybridge like we always have during night sailing, and we would be protected against the wind and rain.
Yes, the enclosure is up.
We're making a sauna.
So now it's here, it's sauna, but the enclosure is up, full around. We put there the cushion, one cushion, another cushion for lying down. So it's a big bed now, sitting, living, sleeping, eating, everything behind the plastic for going up the wind and going up the waves tomorrow, leaving our lovely and beautiful Bonaire.
Yes.
Oh, a little bit sad.
We're almost ready to go to leave Bonaire. We're a little bit sad because it was so much fun here. We were here for 3 months and we cannot stay any longer, unfortunately, because we're not Americans and we're not Dutch, so we're only allowed to stay 3 months. So we're leaving today and we're going to try to go to St. Martin. It will be against the wind, against the current, against the waves, so it will be very rough. We'll see if we get there, otherwise we turn around and we go to Curacao or Aruba. We'll see.
Now we have to prepare one line and then...
Yeah, and Sven just broke something.
Yeah, it's okay.
So we'll have to fix that first and then we're ready.
So first we're going to go to the marina, Harbor Village Marina, to get some extra fuel. I calculated that we need 250 liters extra fuel, so we're going to take that and then we're off. So there's a calm weather window now. It's a little bit windy, but I think it's okay to go out. Fingers crossed this time. Tina's preparing the mooring lines to docking lines. Yeah, take some fuel at the fuel cell. Okay, we're gone. We want to go around the island in the south, around Bonaire, and then try to motor to the east as far as we can until the wind picks up. And here you got the other Caribbean, Eastern Caribbean, and we want to go up there to St. Martin. Hopefully we can motor until we are in the lee of these islands. Otherwise we can maybe take a big circle around. We'll see. I wanted to be in the lee of the island so I can tuck in at night. If the wind's too hard by the end of the week. It's a long way. This, for example, is 375 nautical miles, and now we're doing 6.5 knots. How are you feeling?
Terrible.
The kids, they love it. Yes, we're motor sailing.
Yeah, up against the waves, and it's not a nice feeling.
Well, the waves are just flat.
Yeah, but still, it bothers me a lot.
They're not 2 meters.
Ugh.
They're like half a meter and 1 meter.
It's like the worst time ever. I don't know why. I still haven't figured out why I felt so sick the first few days. Could it have been because we were in the calm Bonaire waters for too long and I lost my sea legs? Or maybe I was just a little under the weather. Anyway, it wasn't pleasant at all. We motor sailed against a current of 1 to 1.5 knots with both our engines on 2000 RPM. We stayed close to the islands in front of the Venezuelan coast so we could stop to have a rest when needed. In the morning we had almost reached Islas Los Roques, so we tacked to the east-northeast. The waves hadn't increased in height, but they were very short, which made it feel very bumpy. I was no longer the only one that felt miserable. Also Sven and the kids weren't feeling so great at times.
Yes, we're eating some tomato soup.
We wanted to keep a safe distance from the coast of Venezuela because we had heard some stories that it wasn't always safe out there. Therefore we sailed up north for a while before heading east again. The next morning we could see a lot more clouds than the previous days. Day would be the start of a period full of rain and increased winds and waves. Still trying to make our way east-northeast. We tried to hold this course as long as possible, but the current was too strong, sometimes more than 2 knots. And the sea state made going upwind very uncomfortable, so we decided to change our course and sail north for a while, hoping for better conditions later.
It's rough.
Yes, it is. Just after sunset, we had a visit from the Venezuelan Coast Guard to see if everything was okay and to let us know that they would be in the neighborhood all night so we could contact them if there was a problem. That was very reassuring to know. The next 2 days and nights were very rough. After we noticed that our first reef line was severely chafed, we put in the second reef. The waves built up to 4 meters and the wind increased to 35 knots at some point. We eventually put in the third reef to be safe for the night, but the seas were simply too high to sail. If we made any speed, we flew over the waves and the boat fell a few meters down after every wave we took. This didn't feel good for us and it didn't sound healthy for the boat. So we slowed her down and took some rest for a few hours.
It has been a passage! Getting wet here. So did you shower today?
I'm busy.
Or you can just close that.
You can try.
This is the 100th squall of the day. We're doing 9, 7 to 9. We furled in the jib 75% and we took the second reef. This is crazy. Ten knots, yay! I saw 10. morning. I hope this is our last day at sea, eh? Fingers crossed.
In the morning we changed back to the second reef and started sailing north again. The height of the waves was still increasing and so was the wind. We had gusts up to 40 knots whenever a squall came over us. With the strong current and the high waves coming from the east, we had no other choice than to keep going north. Meanwhile, we noticed that one of the glider cards from the mainsail had come loose, and we broke our downhauler. Both crew and material were getting tired, so we decided at some point to head for the closest land, which was Puerto Rico, to take shelter there until the weather changed. We eventually arrived in Puerto Rico just after sunset after 5 days at sea. We were very relieved to finally have some proper rest. Hello.
Where are you?
I am in Puerto Rico. Not really according to plan, but...
Didn't see that coming, eh?
No.
So let's check outside.
While we waited for the weather out at sea to calm down, we used our time here to repair the damage we had suffered during this trip. When we started inspecting the boat, we discovered even more problems. Seems like we definitely made the right decision by stopping in Puerto Rico. Join us again next week to see if we make it to St. Martin in time to celebrate Christmas. If you hit the notification bell, you're sure you won't miss it. And if you want to support us, you can buy us a drink via the link in the description. Thank you for watching and don't forget to like our video and leave a comment.